All right, so let's just take a quick look see at what I saw yesterday for Sydney so we can have a better idea going forward what we're looking for, how we might need to be a little bit more flexible. So let's go back to Sydney, 1800 hours. All right. So I remember I drawn an orange line somewhere. Oh boy, excuse me. Okay. I had drawn an orange line somewhere around here for buy side, and then somewhere around here. Sorry. Excuse me. Some around here for sell side and some around here for buy side. Okay. And then, which isn't a bad idea, but okay. Then I said I also had an order block here. This was a 1 minute, and then I think this was a 5 minute. Which I'm still thinking about upgrading these to zones, but then I see if these are superimposed, then I'll have to figure out what that means. And 5 minute looks like it was stronger than the 1 minute for obvious reasons, higher time frame. So it's something to keep in mind. So first thing we did was we gapped up past my intended buy side liquidity. And then we came down into the gap, wicked into it, but didn't quite close it. And then we made a high here, sweeping this prior intermediate term high. And I said, okay. I didn't say this at the time, but I did chance in here. I chanced on this candle, but I realized I didn't get filled until somewhere around here, which wasn't great. Missed most of the move. The reality is this was the sweep of this and the not interest in coming back I should have gotten in as soon as this was coming down and missing going higher, because I said that I would have liked it came so close. I would have liked to see it grab all this liquidity, looked as though it didn't have the strength that it needed, which indicated to me that I now have likely a buy side. I'm looking for a buy. I wanted to see it at least come touch this, maybe at least even reject the breakaway gap. But by the time it came back, I thought it might have invalidated. Having said that, wanted to see it sweep this long-term high. This was actually a beautiful setup. Miss of that, sweep this instead, and then fall. And then you take it right to here, and then you look for the turnaround. If you don't invalidate, you invalidated the 1 minute order block, but then you still have the 5 minute order block. I was concerned about the strength of it. Create your first percent fair value gap along the way. I was concerned about the strength of this because it didn't really displace far, but I should have realized that it had to, I guess, mitigate the strength of these sell orders, and that's why it didn't go so far. It did come up to this first presented fair value gap here, which was concerning for me because I thought that it would have meant sweep, retouch of the first presented, and then fall. But because it was rejecting this order block specifically, and it couldn't mitigate it in any way, shape, or form, no body closure below it. Realistically, I know it should be a zone, but if it can't get past the first line of defense of the order block, the top, then all the more reason why you should be thinking you're bullish at this point. So keep going. You displace further than you did the prior time. All the more reason why you're thinking more bullish, especially because you print on the other side of the first presented fair value. Well, you still haven't yet, but yeah, see, there you go. You print on the other side the first presented fair value gap. Yes, you're at OTE. Maybe you see that come back down and touch it. Maybe. And if it does, you're absolutely in. If you're not, you should be in anyway. So there you go. You come back, you touch the first presented fair value gap, reject it, and you should be off. But realistically, you could have taken this. This would have been a nice risk to reward. I thought it might try to come down here to sweep. The sweep plus the order block. But the reality is there was no need for that. There was literally no need for that, considering the fact that the 5-minute order block was just too strong. That's exactly what you needed. 5-minute higher time frame order block. So you could have taken this, even if you took it off the order block. So first of all, this, let's say you got in as soon as this turned red for 23. Boom. Just under 60 points. And then if you took this off the order block, even comes back to try to test it, can't even reach it. So let's say you got in here because you didn't want to get in too quickly. 370, already up another 60 points. I had concern that this was going to reject, but I see the body printed a lot higher. Reason to think bullish, but I had no idea how much further it would go. Plus, I thought it might have to come back down a little bit to test in order to go back up. That was not necessary. And let's say you got in at 470. Oh, sorry, 370. You're almost up 100 points already. You create bullish breakaway gaps along the way. I did test some of this chop here, but I didn't want to sit through it, so I took myself out of profit. But really, better entries would have been ideal. I saw that, yes, we swept this, but we didn't displace down enough, which told me we're probably still bullish. That's why I got in, but I just didn't want to sit through the chop. I figured stacked bullish breakaway gaps indicates we're likely still bullish, because at the end of the day, in order to mitigate this one, you'll have to mitigate this one as well. So definitely thinking bullish, but I just didn't want to sit through the chop. So you invalidate one bullish breakaway gap, but then you immediately reject the other one and reinvert it. So creating a new FVG along the way. Two, actually. Oh, well, inverting this one and creating another one there. Which would actually make that, what, a balanced price range? Okay, but you then invert the balanced price range, so yeah. I was still thinking bullish this whole time. But, so these would have been nice entries right here, off the rejection of this bullish breakaway gap, especially this one here. This to there, I would have started getting squirrely, especially by the time I saw it coming back down and doing it again. This here would have gotten me concerned. I probably would have closed, honestly, because I would have been up to 100 points on the way up. But then seeing that we're not coming down again is very convincing. Plus, we're getting close to 8 a.m. Sorry, let's try it again, 8 p.m. And I realized that at 8 p.m., we're going to get some kind of explosion of volume. Not sure how big, but I saw that we kept trying. We swept this, but didn't displace much. Kept coming back up to retest without displacing much, without displacing any lower, especially after this. So I said, it's a good chance we're going up still. And 8 o'clock came. Honestly, I thought we might go up and then look for an excuse to come back down. So I would have started trailing this, but seeing 2 more bullish breakaway gaps, it says to me there's a good chance we're going up still. We have all-time highs right here. It kind of makes, oh sorry, these aren't all-time highs. I guess they are. Yeah, this is all-time highs. So it said to me there's a good chance we're actually going there, but I wanted to be in this trade a lot sooner. And I wasn't. So I just watched it and made sure that it met my narrative. See? And here we go. Came back, we tested the bullish breakaway gap, and then matched all-time highs and created new ones. And shortly thereafter, I just went to bed because this had done everything I said it would do, or everything I thought it should do. It's very bullish still. I have no reason to suggest that it's turning around. I mean, it reached all-time highs, but it has all these bullish PD arrays along the way for it to reject off of and go even higher maybe. But I hadn't really sat down and thought about this. So, besides, it was 9 o'clock, and I figured it would probably start slowing down or chopping, and I didn't want to sit through that. So, I didn't have any real areas. I said it's probably best for me to just go to bed. Yeah, this would have been 10 o'clock. Oh, look at that. No all-time highs. If I were still awake, maybe putting a stop here and then letting it go for the rest of the night with a proper stop in profit. Sorry, and not with too much profit for consistency purposes. But yeah, putting a stop here below this low here at 9 o'clock and then going to bed isn't a bad idea. Just to see what you can get out of it if it goes to further all-time highs because they're so close. And then letting that go. Yeah, and then I think that would have taken you out maybe, or at least came close. No, there you go. You would have been up even more. But I think, yeah, after this, it's going to start coming back down. Yeah, midnight, true day open. Yeah, all right, that's enough.